going on, brothers? Let's get on into it. This is episode number 8 of Free to Play to a Main, where I turned a free to play account that was level 3 into a member through buying a bond, which was 3 mil at the time. I've used that bond, and now I have 5 days of membership left, so we're on the final home stretch of the first bond. Right now, though, with these RANRs, my bank is 8.8 mil, and the fact that a bond currently costs like 3 mil means that we are easily going to keep membership, and we are also going to make a ton of money before the bond runs out. I'm going to start by just actually doing a little bit of herb lore and losing some money. I'm going to have to do a little over 1,000. Basically, I want to get to 38 and then do 1,000 prayer potions, so we'll be back with a lot of herb lore levels. Yeah, I said I was going to do a little bit of herb lore. I wasn't lying. There's 51, so that's pretty decent. It's going to be all I can get. I have another 80 potions to make, and I'll do that, but it won't get me to 52. Basically, now, I can make a lot more potions. You don't really need to know all these potions. Really, only some of them are good for XP. If you want to take a look at like how much it costs to actually do this skill, Rsbuddy has an entire site that just shows how much GP you have to spend per XP you gain, which is really helpful to find good potions. So that's what brought me to prayer potions. They're usually pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm going to be done with it for a little bit. We also have all these herbs unlocked now if we ever want to do the unfinished herb method. And here we go. This is going to be 43 prayers, so I decided to go and use dragon bones on altars and player-owned houses to get a little bit of prayer XP. This is pretty much the meta prayer training method for most of your prayer training. Unless you have access to really good money-making methods, this is going to be the best way possible, and as you can see, it is really, really fast. I mean, each inventory at this point is about a level and a half per one, and 43 unlocks me all of the protection prayers, which are very useful in PVM and PvP alike. So I also have access to some of the plus 15% boosting prayers, which is very nice. And in the future, we'll work up towards 70, but as for now, this is where we stay. Gonna finish off the last little bit of bones, but yeah, right now, not looking too bad. Close to 54 combat as well. So here I am cutting some maple longbows, you know, the same old grind. I always tell people, you know, have a skill that you want to AFK while you're doing other stuff. Currently working on Photoshop stuff, so, you know, I have to do some AFK side stuff. I've gotten up to 69 fletching, which is really nice. I'm working towards 70, but this is just a skill I enjoy AFKing. You can really choose anything like it, woodcutting, crafting, fishing. You'll come to learn the AFK skills, but along with that, the reason I do this is because I'm near a bank and can flip at the same time. That's really the reason why. In the past little bit, I've actually been doing a little bit of flipping. Basically, Guthans is something that is decent. I know that the flipping is hard for people because some of you are new and some of you have played for a while. And if you're new, really what I recommend is just try all of these items that you see that I'm doing. Buy one, sell one, see if they work, take note of it, because that's what you have to do no matter if you know the items or if you don't. You're not at that much of a disadvantage as long as you know what the items are called. Any of the Barrow's armors, I would recommend trying, buying one, selling one, and taking note of which works. You can look any of those up. There's a lot of different types, but for me, I've been doing the Guthans plate bodies and the Guthans helms lately. Recently enough, I found that I could get a 50k margin on them, so if I sell off these 6, I'll actually make a little over 250k, and earlier on these granite hammers, which is actually a tier 50 weapon, which isn't too high, I found I could actually flip them for close to 200k each. Made a little over a mil in these flips right here, which was really nice. Obviously a boost to the bank. Right now I have 8.6 mil there and another 1.6 here, which means I've actually broken the 10 mil mark, which is pretty sweet. So now it is time for a more inner monologue for the video. Now I plan on kind of doing this once every episode with maybe a question from the previous episode. So if you guys want to go ahead and leave questions for me on building our main account, leave them for me down below and I'll choose some for the next video. But for this one, it's actually going to be me kind of explaining what I was doing with the account at this point. So basically, I had about a couple days left on the membership when my exam week started. So I knew that I wasn't going to be able to play much during exam week, so I didn't play those last couple days. And in addition to that, I waited a few days to renew my membership as well, which is why you guys haven't seen many uploads. I just went through exam week and then I had to move back home, and so I've been home as well. I set the account to the side though, and basically whenever I came back home during the interim while I wasn't doing stuff, I would just do a couple quests here and there on the side. Now at this point, I pretty much decided that questing was going to be where I wanted to go with this episode, because whenever you get to a member's account, some people get distracted by some of the lower level money making, but really what you want to do is you want to progress your account to the point to where you have access to higher levels of money making. At the end of the day, everyone wants to progress their account anyways, and once you progress your account, then you have access to more money makers. I think people get caught in the process of making money, and they like to do it a lot once they start to get it, but it's so much more beneficial to train your account to where you can just do money makers by casually training your skills. Once you get your skills higher, your skills are more in demand because less people have them, and thus the things you can do will make you more money. Ultimately, that's the point that we are aiming for, and by doing quests, you definitely set yourself on a path that I think is best for actually making a main account. And along with that, questing is really useful because as we start to get our skills up outside of it, we'll notice that a lot of the skilling stuff that we do has some form of quest requirement before it. For example, a lot of Slayer monsters are hidden behind some quests that you can do to unlock them. And in addition to that, methods that may just be in a particular area of the map may also have to be unlocked through questing. So rather than questing based upon our needs of skilling, if we just quest and get it out of the way early, we're never going to have to kind of go out of the way to have to do these things. Instead, we'll always have the access there for us. Some of the notable things that I did in the background during this time is obviously a significant amount of quests, but I obviously did buy my first bond, which took my bank down to 7 mil. I did the Varrock Museum as well, which got me to 9 Hunter and 9 Slayer, when both of those were level 1 before doing it, so obviously that's a huge help, especially considering Hunter is a very slow skill at level 1. I also did Biohazard, which will unlock a lot of the arty area for us going forward. I did the Waterfall quest so that I could get a decent amount of attack and strength XP to further our combat stats while also doing quests. And then finally, I did Witch's House that would allow me to get a few more quest points, but I also got a load of HP XP from it as well. And for any of you that may be looking for the exact order of which I'm doing these quests, I have a link down below to SlayerMusiq's quest order Excel sheet where he has the most efficient run through of all of them, and I've been going through the quick guides, which are more made for experienced players, but you can even go to the regular guides if you're more of a newer player. Alright, first live commentary clip in a while. Hopefully I can do this correctly. No mess ups, please. This is Tree Gnome Village that I am going to complete. This should give me a little bit of attack XP. So there's 43 attack. In addition to that, I also get to travel through the spirit tree now, which will give me access to about 5 different teleports right here. Very useful for navigating a little bit of the game. Happy to have that done, and now up to 70 quest points as well, but gonna continue on questing definitely. Probably trying to reach 100 total is what I think. And by the way, now that I have 40 attack, I can actually use the rune scimitar, so that is a huge upgrade as far as my weaponry goes. This is gonna be the best thing to use tied with the Brine Saber up until the point at which I get the dragon scimitar, so looking good. Gonna go do Priest in Peril right now so that I can unlock what is kind of the northeastern portion of old school RuneScape, Mauritania. Some quests I may brush off in regards to how important they are, but this one actually is very important. That is Priest in Peril. We have finally finished it. As I talked about earlier, it unlocks us. Okay, I have to talk to him again. Alright, now we've been warned. Anyways, the Mauritania area basically consists of the Slayer Tower, which is a very useful area for Slayer, obviously. A lot more side quests lie within this area as well. In addition to that, we have ourselves a new herb patch that we can have over here once we start to do farming. And also there's a few towns down here as well. There really just is a lot of content that needs to be unlocked through this quest.
So we can get some magic logs for Desert Treasure here.
Here we go, Rag and Bone Man to be completed. Not that great of a quest, and unlocks what is even a harder side quest. So, 1 quest point, 500 cooking and prayer, and yeah, don't have to come back here for a long while, so thankfully. Talking to the king, this should give us the end of the Grand Tree quest, where I will get a decent bit of agility and also attack XP. Very close to 47 attack, and also got 35 agility. Obviously also close to 800 total level, and that was another 5 quest points as well. And so this should be the end of Jungle Potion. That is 1 more quest point and 800 Herblore XP. No levels, but 80 quest points achieved. Jungle Potion is a good prereq for a lot of other quests, so glad to get it out of the way. So we helped out our boy Merlin up there in the crystal. Boys free, good to go. We got ourselves the Excalibur and also 6 quest points, which is really nice. The Excalibur is good if you're between 20 to 30 attack, but at this point, not really that great for me. It does have a special attack that boosts defense though, so it is useful in particular situations, but time to keep going. Just finished fishing contest before I had to shut down my computer because my recorder wasn't working. Real quick and easy quest, and now we have this unlocked, a little underground area. Prerequisite for Recipe for Disaster, and the cinematics, I mean, God, look at this. That camera work. Damn. Oh. And that is the observatory quest done. Another 2 quest points and no crafting level. Oh, I lied. Why would I lie like that? Also have this place unlocked for a couple clue requirements, which is very nice. So popping on out of here. So this is the first part to Recipe for Disaster, pretty much the easiest quest. In regards to how quick it is to complete, honestly took me just a couple seconds, but now we have the beginning of Recipe for Disaster done. So this is the beginning of Recipe for Disaster after you complete the first part. Basically, we are unlocking the other 9 subquests that come with it. Recipe for Disaster at the time of coming out was one of the biggest quests ever released to old school RuneScape, and the fact that it has a ton of subquests means that it's going to be a part of what we do on the account for a while. Ultimately, once you complete the entire thing, you have unlocked the best gloves in the game, and in addition to that, there's a lot of other side unlocks that come with it. So now it is our job to get all of these people out of here and kill the final boss, but that will take a fair bit of time. I can't complete that quest until I have 175 quest points total, which is definitely an aim for where I'm going on this account, but after completing that part, we do have access to this chest down here that is both a bank and kind of a partial moneymaker. There's items in here that you can buy for profit, like chocolate bars and grapes. The grape right here, 1 GP, you buy it, you look at it, 160. I mean, it's a nice little way to go about it, and I personally only have 1 in stock right now. As you complete more quests, you'll eventually get like 20, 50. I mean, you'll get up there. And then also we have unlocked the first set of gloves that will eventually progress on to be Barrow's gloves, but for now, just hard leather. The first character we're going to get out is the Dwarf. That is another quest point, 1k cooking, and Slayer XP, which means we will get some Slayer levels from 9 to 13, so that is good. Low level Slayer, happy to get that out of the way. Also another thing, it's winter time and I get that, so you know, a little bit of snow out here, it's cool and whatnot, you know, you got that little overlay, but up top on the Lumbridge Castle, it is just the worst. It is so absurd. I mean, I guess once you go in the bank it's gone, but every time, man, every time I have to walk up here, it's just blinding. All right, slop of compromise. Let's get this done. This should be, hey, there it is. 1k cooking, 1k crafting, and 1k farming. That is, I don't believe any skills for, 1k farming. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, 9 farming coming in there. That's nice. Get some early levels out of the way. Farming is definitely a skill where getting early levels done through questing is highly recommended because some of the lower level farming techniques are just plain bad. You know, you gotta wait time and they're pretty slow. So as you can see, our food's up to 3 now and our gloves are now up to 3 tiers. So it's kind of how it works. And talking to the nature spirit, this should, he seems preoccupied. Sir, oh, okay. That is another 2 quest points, also got up to 31 defense. And this should be the making history quest done. This gives us 3 quest points and 2,000 XP along with a little bit more GP. This quest also a little bit of scenery in it, so happy about that. And I believe 1 more quest to go until I hit the nice 100 quest points. So one thing I will recommend to anyone that is doing the Lost City quests and is working on getting a Drayman staff basically from the quest, drop whatever you have in your inventory and just grab as many of them as you can, because to be honest, you're going to go through these a lot and you're going to be able to drop them every now and then depending on a situation you're in, so having more of them can't hurt. And to come all the way back here, get the axe again, it's just kind of a grind, so you may as well do it while you're here. Entering the garden with the Drayman staff gives us the Lost City quest. 3 quest points, no other rewards, but we do now have access to the Lost City. And here later on we'll find that we can have a nice little black dragon lair. And in addition to that, on the whole, we got a couple quests unlocked through this and a Slayer Master as well, along with a couple new money makers that we can find in here. And that is 100 quest points total as well, so feeling good. What's going on there, Kyle? And also with the Lost City quest, I forgot to mention, but we unlocked pretty much dragon weaponry for the most part once we get to 60 attacks. So we have that ready to go for us. So that is going to be it for this episode as we hit 100 quest points. Basically, I have now unlocked a lot of useful content around the game. Soon we will try to expand westward and unlock this side of the world as well, but overall, I'm feeling really good. I've unlocked a lot more teleportation methods around the game and money makers that I can do in the future. And in addition to that, we have a lot of the prereqs done for some of the later quests that are going to be a lot more useful towards making us a main account. Now, next video I'm going to focus a little bit more on stats, but even in this one, we are up to 813 total level, given that I got a lot of XP from these quests as well, which is the main reason why I'm doing these at such a low level. And then throwing everything in the bank as well, we still have what is 7.3 mil in an overall bank, and I have about 10 days left of membership, actually 11, so we're looking really good. And I'm excited to get going to see how much more progress we can do, and in the next episode we should be able to round out our stats a lot more. So with that, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. If there's anything you want to tell me, let me know down in a comment below. And finally, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe to see more. But with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.